Okay. So guys, as discussed, this is a purely project-oriented training. We are going to do only practicals, no theory at all, because I assume that you guys are already like well versed with theory. Maybe you're trained multiple times on theory, or maybe you're already working on Pega and you just want to brush up your skills. So, okay, no theory at all. From today, we'll start working on a project. We are going to work on Pega 7.2.1 version of Pega. Okay, I'll be sharing you the software post fee payments, guys. Or if you have it, well and good, you can keep using it. But softwares and other things, I'll be sharing you post fee payments. Okay, so the project we are going to do is related to health insurance domain. Okay, I'll tell you the use case of the project. Okay, so this is what I'm planning for us. It's a health insurance project, as I told you, and we have three types of users. One is member, other one is pharmacist, okay, and the other one is MD, medical reviewer. So these three people are the users of the project. And what is the main business of this project? As I told you, it's a health insurance one. So the main business of my application is uh, to judge whether a person should be approved for the health insurance or not. So my application is used by the users. They log in into my application. They enter all their details. Like they might have some they'll have some plan, health insurance plan, which they enrolled with my insurance company, right? Okay. So sorry, Shrika, to whom you're saying? So let me just check once. Okay. So, yeah. So these people are going. They'll have some like insurance plan which is enrolled in my company, right? So whenever this people log into my application, let's say members are nothing but patients. So these people log into my application and they're going to. Okay, perfect, Shrikant. Thank you. Okay, and these people are going to provide me their like first they are going to provide me like what is the member ID. So every participant, I mean, like every patient will have some ID, right? So this guy is going to enter his ID, then I'll retrieve all his details, like what all insurance plans he has enrolled with our company, and everything I'll get from some database. Okay, then this guy is going to enter his doctor details. So he's nothing but like his doctor. So this guy will enter his doctor details and will select the doctor. Then next he will enter like for one which particular drug. Actually, this is like insurance for drugs. Like this is basically like a US kind of application. Like before for medicines you will get insurance. Okay, so this guy will enter his drug, how much mg he want, how many drugs he want, like a day, like two tablets a day or five tablets a day. So he will enter all the details. So after entering all the details, then I will just check, is it covered under the plan that he has enrolled. Okay, if it is covered, then I'll start like then we have some questions. We'll ask him some questions. So like they're all related to some decision making questions. We'll ask him some questions, he will answer the questions. So based on the questions I'll decide whether to approve this drug for him or not. So if I approve it, like externally, like outside this application, he can go get the insurance for the drug. If I, then like if I don't approve it, actually after he submits all the details, it will get routed to pharmacist. So pharmacist is the person who will open each of these cases, and he will decide whether to approve or not. So this pharmacist will be getting requests from these members. Okay, so if a pharmacist cannot decide, I mean like he saw a particular case where he is not able to decide whether to approve or not, then what this guy will do, he can route it to a medical reviewer. Okay, so pharmacist will have two options: approve, reject, and like route to medical reviewer. So he'll route to medical reviewer. Medical reviewer is like topmost here. So this guy will again look at the case. He will decide whether to approve, reject, or maybe if he thinks I need more information, then he will route it back to the member saying like incomplete task or something like that. Again, it will get back to him. Again, he will get some questions. He will send it back. Again, it will come to him. He might approve or reject. Okay, so that is like the high level requirement we are planning to do. So the members are going to log in, provide all their member, doctor, drug details, and some questionnaire and some set of things. So based on the answers he has given and based on the plan he has taken with this insurance company, we may or may not approve his this one. Okay. So this is the requirement, guys. Do you have any comments here? Okay. So I shared you the course content yesterday. Each and every topic which is mentioned in the course content, we are going to include in this project. Okay. So maybe I explained you the case dive at a very high level, but as we keep deep diving, I mean, like you think like, hey, this feature has to be okay. Let it inculcate it somewhere. We'll incorporate it somewhere in the project. Okay. So we are going to expand the project like this, and this is the high level requirement of a project. Okay. So um, okay. Guys, as it's a project training, usually even in my normal trainings, I start my hands-on from day three. Only first 2 days theory and day three, I expect everybody to have software and everything ready. So same is the case today. Uh, what I want to do is like, I'll just create a DCO. I mean like, I'll start building a new application today and I'll share you the recording for today. Okay. So you can take the software, start building this in your machines. Okay. Or we'll do one thing. Today, I'll start building the application. I'll just do a little bit of DCO and everything. I'll share you the recording. Take a day or 2 days time. Okay, maybe like day after tomorrow, we'll resume back. Take a day time. Okay, get the software, complete this task. From day after tomorrow, we'll resume the classes. Okay, because I want everybody to have software in class in parallel to me and work in parallel with me, because we guys are going to do project in parallel in the class only. Okay, so I want you people to have softwares on your machines by day after tomorrow. So let me start with building the DCO for today. Okay, and I'll share you the recording. So we are going with Pega 7. Okay, Pega 7.2.1, you can see this. Okay, and for the first time users, always it is administrated.pega.com irrespective of the version of Pega. Okay, so whenever you're building a new application in Pega, these are the default credentials. And when you log in with these credentials, you can see Pega rules application. You remember on the demo I was telling you, you can never build an application without having this directed inheritance because we are built on Pega rules application. Here is Pega rules application. So every application you build today is a built on this application. So this is the core application which lies at the bottom for us. Okay. So you are building about this application. Okay. And let me give you a walkthrough of the portal. I hope you guys are aware, but still I would like to give you a walkthrough. Designer Studio is a place where you can see many wizards, tools, and all those things, okay, which can automate your building application process. Application menu contains your current application. So when you say open application, your current application will open. Your application skin, which is nothing but CSS styles, switching between applications and switching between work pools. Okay. So application is nothing but a collection of rule sets. Always remember, application is nothing but a collection of rule sets. Okay. So a collection of all these rule sets is what an application is. Tomorrow, if I create a new rule set in my application, I'm supposed to add it here. If I don't add it here, it will not be used by my application. So application is just a package of rule sets and rule set is just a package of rules. Okay. So you have to specify the rule sets in your application. Then launch is to launch multiple portals. Maybe you will have one portal for member, one for pharmacist, and just for example, I'm saying. So if you have multiple portals, you can launch from here. Okay. Create. Either you want to create a case or you want to create a new rule in Pega, you use create menu. Search to search the rules. Private, it's a private explorer. Okay. So where you can see all the rules which are currently in your checkout. Currently in my checkout means the rule is currently being modified by me. I have the lock over it and no one else can parallelly modify with me. Okay. Then current operator, his access group, his favorite rules and other things. There at the bottom of the screen you see the debugging tools and performance tools of Pega. Then left side recent explorer which shows you the top 25 rules that you have recently opened. Cases explorer, the main business or the main case type of your application, the main business flow of your application you can see here. Data explorer, blob tables you can see here. App explorer, current applications classes you can see here. Leaf icon indicates it's a class, and when you expand it you will see the rule sets, like rules under it. Records explorer, all the rules grouped by rule type. Here it is grouped by class, here it is grouped by rule type. Okay. Private explorer, the same thing that I told you here. All the rules which are in my checkout. Okay. Express mode, that Pega Express portal will open. Okay. So where you can instantly build applications, or maybe you can see how this application looks in a mobile mode, tablet mode, system mode. You can see all that. And here you can see guardrail warnings of your application of last 7 days. So what are guardrails? Pega has some best practices. They are called as guardrails. And if you go against those best practices, you will get some warnings. So type like severity, moderate, like type what is the severity of the warning? You can see here. Okay. So you can see the warnings here. You have to open the warnings and you have to fix them. Because the more the number of warnings, the less will be the performance of your application. Okay, so we have to fix guardrail warnings and they are important for us. Okay, so this is about your portal. Now, if I want to build a new application in Pega, we have a wizard or a tool called as DCO. Okay, so this is new application DCO. DCO stands for direct capture of objectives. The name itself indicates this is a wizard which is used to gather business requirements. Okay, so this is DCO. Here, you can build two types of application. One is enterprise application, means the actual application where you have this organization, division, framework, implementation layers. Express application is just instantly you want to quickly build an application because you want to give a demo to a client or something. Just like a blueprint, you want to show something, you go with this. But if you want a proper application, it's enterprise application. Okay, and just say create new application. So I am running a DCO. Okay. In earlier versions of Pega, DCO used to have three inbuilt tools inside it. They were application profiler, application accelerator, application express. Coming to Pega 7, we do not have profilers and accelerators. We only have express. So this four screens, 1, 2, 3, 4 you see is a part of application express. Okay. So today we only have application express. We do not have profilers and accelerators. Earlier days we used to have them. Okay, so what are you going to fill in this? In application settings, you are going to specify what's your application name, what are the four different layer names, like organization layer name, division layer name, framework layer name, implementation layer name. Business objectives, what is the purpose of this application? What are the challenges that you are facing today when you go with manual way of doing the things, etc., you have to give. Case types, what are the various classes you have in your application? Data types, what are the various data tables you want for this application? Okay, so this information is like very minimal. This information is only with the knowledge that I have at this point of time about my application. Okay, so when you're building an application for the first time, you'll not have the complete knowledge, right? So with very minimal application, we'll start building an application. Later, I can add more case types, I can add more data tables in my application portal. I will not be running DCO again. Okay, DCO is run only for the first time when you're building an application. You will not do it second time for the same application. Only first time for each application. And when you complete a DCO, Pega builds a new application for you. It will give you some operators, it will give you some case types, data types. So based on the information you give here, Pega gives you a partially finished application. Means it will build you all the rules and everything based on the names and information you have provided here. Okay, you get operators, access groups, roles, privileges, etc., etc. Everything will be built by Pega after you complete this tool. In lower versions of Pega, guys, I guess it's Pega 5 or Pega 4, we never had this DCO concept. So we used to manually go and create each and every single rule, like one application rule, one multiple rule sets. Then we used to build operators, access groups, privileges, everything, every single rule we used to build manually. And today this wizard has automated 80% of the effort, or you can say still more. Okay. So if you have worked on the low versions, you would have known the pain that we had undertook. In real time, LSAs will do the DCOs. We are not going to do the DCOs. Okay. Now, give the name of your application. Um, so I will name my application as, I'll name it as approvals. Okay. So this application used to give approvals for the insurance being claimed by the members. So I would like to name my application as approvals. Okay. I gave a generic name because I assume that tomorrow my application can be used by many other projects for approval, just not just today insurance approval. Maybe I want to expand it, so I just gave approvals as a generic name. Then built on, as I told you, every application is built on either Pega rules or any of your existing application. Maybe you have some other application in this, you can do a built on or that. But that application is again built on Pega rules. So end of the day, we are all built on Pega rules only. So you can take either Pega rules or any of your existing applications as well. Okay, I took Pega rules only. Then application structure. Every application in Pega has four layers: organization, division, framework, and implementation. Right? So organization is mandatory because to which company you're building, that layer will be organization layer. Division, to which division you are building, IT division, HR division, insurance division, whatever division. Framework and implementation is very specific to your project and coming to framework. So sometimes you may build both, sometimes you may build only framework, sometimes you may build only implementation. When do you build only framework? Let's say you're building something reusable for all your projects, then you say only framework. Okay. Just like how Pega sells its own frameworks, so you build a framework and you can sell it or you can give it to other teams, they can use it. Only implementation, yeah, you don't want any project, you only build implementation and you want to reuse framework of somebody else. So then you say, I build only implementation, I use somebody's framework, then implementation only. If you want to build both, you can go for both. So it's your choice whether you want to build only framework, only implementation, or both. Maybe you can take both framework and implementation. Then, for which client you are building, organization name. Uh, Take some insurance. Just I took LIC, okay, just for example. Oh, sorry, it's not a health insurance. Just take some health insurance. I don't exactly remember any health insurance. Any idea, guys? Any name of any health insurance, please? Okay, Star. Acha, okay, I'm not aware of it. Oh, let me see. There's some other name. AIG. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll take AIG. Okay. So AIG is my insurance company name. So I have given the name of health insurance. Okay, American International Group. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Now, configure advanced settings. Now, so here you can see whatever information you have given in the first screen is what you see here. I'm building it on Pega rules. By default, it's Scrum methodology. Whatever you select here that has nothing to do with what you work. Okay, just only for theoretical purpose. Then your organization name. For which division you are building? Let's say, for example, I have like insurance division, pharmacy division. Okay. I gave my division name as pharmacy. Unit, I'm just leaving it empty. Okay, so organization approvals is my application name. Okay, here comes your class structure of implementation layer and framework layer. So your framework layer and implementation layer is always a combination of your application name and your organization name. So if you see the name of my implementation layer, it is AIG hyphen approvals hyphen work. This is how the class name will be. What is AIG? Organization layer. What is approvals? My application name. Work, Pega's default class where we build business rules. Okay. At the rate base class is the parent of all the classes in Pega. Below at the rate place class, you'll have work, data, int, and many other classes. Work classes are used to put business rules in it. Okay. So Pega's work class. Coming to framework layer, same thing you will see AIG hyphen FW hyphen approvals hyphen work. The only difference is you see an additional word called as FW. FW means framework. Otherwise, the rest is same for implementation and framework. Okay. So class name in Pega is a combination of organization layer and application name. Done. Now go to the next tab. Why are we building this project? To automate insurance approvals. Okay. And I say like currently manual approvals are taking weeks. Manual approvals are time consuming. Okay. And we like you want to cut it down. That is the reason you do it. Then what else? Like human errors. Like I want to bring down the defect rate. Okay. So there are many reasons like why are we automating this application. So you just write down like why. Okay, business objectives. Then click on next. Then case types. What are the various case types you want to have? So I would like to give my case name as um, authorization. I mean, like approval. It's a kind of approval only. So, is this person authorized to take this insurance for this drug or not? That is what my main intention of this project is. So, I named my case type as authorization. So, I just check whether he's authorized or not to take this drug. Okay, that's my case type. Then I just say next. As I told you, you can keep adding case types and data types if you want later in your project. You need not come back to DCO again. Only with the very minimum knowledge right now we have on this project, we are building it. Okay. Then data types, if you have in your mind like what tables you need, you can give here. Otherwise, you can build it later. Let's say, anyways, I'll need a table where I can maintain the drug details, right? So I just named something called as drug, a table. Okay. Even table, you can say like whether you want to maintain it at organization level, enterprise means organization layer, framework implementation. I mean, tables can also be reused across projects. So maybe let me put it as enterprise layer. Okay. Maybe others also can use my table in that case. Okay. Now, if you say create, Pega is going to build you few rules. What rules it's going to build, you can see under preview. So let me click on preview and show you what it is going to build for us. Okay. So it's going to build you three layers: organization, framework, and implementation layer. Under each layer, you will see the classes: work class, generic means work class, data class, integration class. Three classes it will build. Under each class, okay, so these are the class names. Okay. No rules under this class. Fine. Now let's see framework. Work data int classes again. Okay. Cover classes. We have something called as I told you, like sorry, at the rate base class is the parent of all the classes in Pega, below which we have work, data, int, and many classes. Okay, there are many classes inside it. Again, under work, you have work dash, cover dash. So covers come into the picture when you're going with case management. Means you want to combine two or more case types and you want to have tight coupling between them. Like let's say I have a case called as authorization and I have a case called as some XYZ. And XYZ becomes a child class of authorization, and the work objects of XYZ and the work object of authorization are tightly coupled. Means you cannot resolve a parent if the child is not resolved. So some dependencies you maintain and you do, then such type of things come under covers concept in Pega. It is case management. Okay, tight coupling between the work objects. Okay, okay. So this is like you have under framework again you have multiple things. Their own classes. Okay, your case type rule. We told the case type is approvals, right? So Pega will create a case type rule for you. Case type is nothing but where you find stages and the flows under them, okay? And other stuff. Again, data class, int class, the same thing that you saw above. Same is the case in the implementation layer. Again, work data int, and it also has its own case type rule, approvals, and other things. Okay. Then coming to the other things, Pega is going to build you some default operators. Okay. They are admin, BA, author, manager, user, default operator IDs. So after you complete this, you have to log in with any of these to progress on your application. Then some access roles, some default roles. Okay. So one admin, one manager, one user, something else. Some access groups. Okay. To control access over your application. So some of them are for framework, some of them are for implementation. If you see the word FW, it's a framework access group. If there's no word as FW, then it's an implementation access group. So it's creating access groups, some work groups. Work groups are nothing but distribution lists. A work group contains multiple email IDs inside it. Okay. Then work baskets to do routing to multiple people at the same time. We use work baskets, right? So all these things are getting created here. Okay. I'll close my preview. So if this wizard was not there, you might have to create all these things individually. Now click on create. Okay. So now your new application is created. Okay. And you have four default operator IDs to log in and to work on your application. And this is the default password for all of these four operators. So now you can log in with admin at the rate AIG and password as rules and you can start working on it. So let me log off. Just give me a minute, guys. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So this is a new application which we have created. Okay, and you have to go to the case type rule and see this is the. Why do we need to save in a class? I mean, like, Gaurav, I didn't get you. Which rule we need to modify and save in a class? We need not modify any rule and save in a class. I mean, like, for changing the operators. No, you can't change an operator ID name once created. So let's say you have already created a name, like this is my current operator ID. Okay, you can't change it. If you want, you have to delete it and recreate a new one. But editing an operator ID name is editing an operator ID, that login ID is not possible. So this is the ID with which you log in. Okay, so this you can't change. No way you can edit this. If you want, we can delete and recreate a new one or retain this and create a new one, but editing the names are not possible. Okay. Okay. So this is the case type rule. Okay. So this is you have to put your stages, you have to put your flows and everything in this, and this is the one that drives your application. So whatever stages, flows you give, that is what would be driving your sort of life cycle. You'll be defining it. Okay. You should start adding stages. We'll do it in the next class once everybody has application. Okay. Then data explorer, we haven't, we created one table, right? Drugs. There'll be one table. It is one table drug, but we haven't defined any columns in the table. So this table will be empty for now. Then coming to App Explorer, you will see your class AIG-approvals-work, AIG-approvals-work dash authorization. Okay. So this is parent class, this is child class. This is implementation classes. What about my organization division framework? They are here. AIG is the organization class. AIG-approvals, your division layer. Okay. Then you have your framework here with all FWs. You have ints for integration. Okay. So all your classes are here. Records, you can see all the rules group by rule type. Okay. I don't have anything in my private. So end of the day, this Cases Explorer, Data Explorer, and App Explorer, the one which got created from your DCO and your operator IDs. Okay. And always here, this indicates your current application name. So my current application name is approvals. You remember in the beginning of the class, we saw as Pega rules because we logged in as administrated.pega.com. Now it is approvals because it's my application. Okay. So guys, in the next class, we are going to add stages to this. Then we'll design the flows, then UI, then properties, and so on. We'll keep building the application. Okay. So that's it for today. Guys, the next class would be day after tomorrow. In the meanwhile, I want you people to have the software installed on your machine. Okay. Or and also make sure that just a second, guys.